What up, y'all? Star Wars stuff. Back at it again with another Boba deck profile. This is my favorite deck I've been playing. Been rocking it to a couple tournaments this week. Been having some pretty good success. Changed up a little bit since our last time that I showed it to you, but yeah, let's check it out. Still rocking Boba Green with the ECL. ECL is going to let you ambush a card, and the card that you're probably going to always want to ambush is going to be the Steadfast Battalion. It has Overwhelm and gives +2/+2 to anybody. It's really good to use on Boba so that they can't swing into you and then use something like, Takedown? I think it's the one that defeats one with 5 or less. So, yeah, super duper important on a lot of maths and a super duper good card. In case you didn't know what Boba does, it has a static effect when an enemy unit leaves play. You may exhaust this leader, and if you do, ready a resource. And then if you flip over to his leader unit side, it is a 4/7, comes out on 5, probably overstated, but that's perfectly fine. When this unit completes an attack, if an enemy unit left play this turn, you may ready up to 2 resources. So it just allows you to play more cards throughout your turn. Yeah, probably one of my favorite decks. So we're going to start off with our ground units. So we have 3 Greedy Boys, super duper important for a lot of mass. A 1 cost that does 3 damage is absolutely amazing, and the possibility to do a 2 more when defeated if you mill an event. Next up, we have the Crafty Smuggler coming in shielded. Yeah, probably one of my favorite cards. A couple of changes from the last deck profiles. We're only playing 2 Seasoned Shore Troopers, and we actually added in 2 Viper Probe Droids. Now this is going to be so we can reach a little bit farther when we dig through our deck with the Darth Vader unit. Just super duper important. Next up, we have the DJ Death Star himself, Super Laser Tech. Obviously, an amazing card and a staple in pretty much any Boba deck, any Boba Green deck, and any green deck, essentially. Then we have Boba Fett, the unit. Now, this card's actually super duper good because it has like a shoot first ability. Basically, if it attacks a exhausted unit that hasn't entered play this turn, which actually includes leaders on the turn that they're deployed because they're not entering play, they're just being deployed, if that makes sense. Basically, you can shoot 3 into them immediately without taking any damage back, and then you can actually, if the unit wasn't defeated, you can complete your attack and you do an additional 3, so 6 damage possible there. I did lower my boss count. My boss count is down to 2. I had to make room for the Viper Pro Droid, and I thought that that was a decent pick as a 5. It's pretty good in most matchups, but yeah, it's just one that I'm trying out at 2 right now. And then obviously Steadfast Battalion, everybody knows the synergy with Energy Conversion Lab, and the fact that it is a 5 and Boba deploys on 5 is just super duper important. And last but not least, we have the 3 Vader units. I know that I wasn't playing Vader before, but I have since changed my tune, and Vader's just a really good card. Onto the space units, we have only 2 Cartel Spacer, because I had to make room for another card. Cartel Spacer is super duper good when played. If you control another Cunning unit, you may exhaust a enemy unit that costs 4 or less. So it's really good. It has an effect when it is played, as long as you are meeting those conditions. Next up, we have the Pirated Starfighter. Now this card is absolutely insane. A lot of people say they don't like it, but man, I'm finding that it is very, very useful. Sometimes with your ability to ready up resources with Boba's effect, you might have extra resources that you can play in a turn. So dropping a Pirated Starfighter and picking up a Greedo that maybe you swung with and then playing it back down can be super duper effective. My favorite combo with it is going to be with the Fett's Fire Spray, and we'll get to that in just a second. We have 3 7th Fleet Defenders. This is very similar to Crafty Smuggler. Comes in with a shield and is super hard to deal with. One way to deal with this card very effectively in anything with a shield, if you're playing green, would be Traitorous. That card is absolutely busted. So my idea with the Pirated Starfighter, not only am picking up maybe a Crafty Smuggler that lost his shield, or Greedo, or 7th Fleet Defender that lost his shield, or a Boba Fett that's a little bit damaged up, or even a Darth Vader to play again on the next turn, would be to play it on my 8th resource turn, where I have attacked with Fett's Fire Spray. I'm going to play Pirated Starfighter, pick this back up, play it back down, swing another 5. That's going to be 10 damage in 1 fail swoop. Well, not 1 fail swoop, but close enough. On to the events. Only 2 shoot first. This card's super duper good. Obviously, it adds to your event count for Bosk, which is super important, and your event cost for Greedo. So you attack with a unit, it gets +1. This attack deals combat damage before the defender. If the defender is defeated, you basically take none back. So it's pretty much giving your unit a shield. This is a card I don't see a lot of people playing in the count of 3 or even in the main deck, and that's No Good to Me Dead. This card is insane. I mean, you tap down a unit for a couple turns, and sometimes that's all you need as a Boba player. They deploy their leader. I usually save this for the leader, because leaders can have really big impacts on the board. And yeah, I'm going to play this on their leader, and basically they flipped it for no effect. Next up is my favorite event in the whole game, Surprise Strike. It will win you so many games. It combined with the Steadfast Battalion, where you have Boba out, can potentially swing for 10 damage. So yeah, get your mind right on that one, because that card is absolutely busted. Next up, we have 2 Waylay. This is super important for if your opponent's trying to Voltron up some things, or if they have a Sentinel, pesky Sentinel in the way, and you just need to swing a little bit of damage to finish them off. It can be very, very effective. It even works kind of as a No Good to Me Dead a little bit. Half of a No Good to Me Dead, so they play something out that's going to possibly do a lot of damage. You can return it back to their hand if they haven't attacked with it yet, and pretty much nullifying them playing the card. Then we have 3 Resupply. This card, man, I was very on the fence on this card, but it just gets you 1 turn quicker to that Boba turn. If you can't find the ECL, or your opponent's not playing in ground unit, if you play against somebody who is pretty smart and won't put ground units out against you, you can use the Resupply and for the same effect. And last but not least, we have the Overwhelming Barrage. Now, this card is, what can I say? It's just one of the most busted cards in the game. You're going to give a unit +2, then sprinkle +2/+2, and then you're going to sprinkle its damage around the board. Pops shields, does damage to units, and yeah, that is the main deck. Now, we will take a look at the side deck. Now, if you were to ask me some things that I would change about my main deck, there is not much really. Maybe fitting in some of these side deck cards, but I think they all have a place where they are. So we have 2 Cunnings. Card is, once again, absolutely busted. I'll play it at 6, especially in a control matchup, and do multiple effects. Mainly going to be the exhausting 2 units and give another unit +4 for the phase, +4 attacks, so that's super duper good. Another card coming in against the control matchups, especially something like Vader Green, which has been a really hard deck for me to beat. It's been my only 2 losses in the last like 4 tournaments that I went to. So yeah, Vader Green, I got to practice against it. Maybe that's the way that you beat Boba Green. But yeah, change of heart, take control of a unit, and then pretty much you can swing at base, or you can take out another unit with it. So it's super duper good. 2 Star Vipers, just in case I want to add more space units, in case my opponent is trying to dodge my ground units and not trying to trigger my super laser tech. It's a super duper good card to put out. A 3/3, pretty well statted, and if you have initiative, you're going to heal 2 from your base. And 2 Rook. Rook is, what can I say? He is Thrawn's assassin, and he does work. He has Death Touch, as everybody likes to call it. He comes in shielded and has a very interesting interaction with the Energy Conversion Lab, just like a lot of cards in this deck do. So yeah, Rook is one of my favorite cards to side in. And last but not least, we have 2 Traitorous. This card's going to be, I'm not sure what you're putting it in, but the card just is really, really good. I had somebody play 2 Traitorous on me, and it won them the game. Because essentially, you're still playing a unit by taking your opponent's unit, and you're also removing a unit from their field. So, yeah, card's super duper good. Thanks, everybody, for showing up, showing out. Star Wars stuff here, and we're out.